A disturbing new document tied to Jeffrey Epstein is reigniting questions around his final days and forcing the U.S. Justice Department to step in. The Department of Justice has now confirmed the fakeness of a letter that appeared to have been written by Epstein and addressed to Larry Nassar, the former U.S. Gymnastics team doctor serving decades in prison for sexually abusing hundreds of young athletes. The letter surfaced in the latest release of Epstein files, and its contents are deeply unsettling. In the handwritten note, the author, signing off as J. Epstein, appears to reference Epstein's death, writing, "As you will know by now, I have taken the short route home." The letter goes on to praise what it calls a shared love and caring for young ladies, before making an explicit and crude reference to President Donald Trump, claiming that our president also shares our love of young, nubile girls. Trump has repeatedly denied any knowledge of Epstein's crimes or any wrongdoing, and the Justice Department has emphasized that claims against Trump contained in these files are unfounded and false. But what has triggered immediate scrutiny is not just the letter's content, but it's the timeline. According to Trump's DOJ, 3 facts prove the letter is fake. First, the writing does not appear to match Jeffrey Epstein's. Second, the envelope is postmarked Virginia, not New York, where Epstein was jailed at the time. And third, the return address lists the wrong jail and does not include Epstein's inmate number, a requirement for outgoing mail. Investigators found the envelope in a jail mailroom, returned from a prison in Arizona, marked no longer at this address, days after Epstein's death in 2019. An internal email shows uncertainty among officials over whether the letter should even be opened. It remains unclear whether Epstein and Nassar ever had any direct relationship. Nassar is currently serving a 60-year federal sentence in addition to a 40 to 175-year state sentence after more than 150 women, including Olympic champions, testified that he sexually abused them. The documents released comes as questions continue to swirl around Epstein's death, which was ruled a suicide, a finding his brother, Mark Epstein, continues to dispute. Now, the mystery surrounding Epstein's final days and the documents he left behind has only deepened.
The Justice Department has released tens of thousands of new documents connected to the investigations into late financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. While voluminous, the release contained little revelatory information that wasn't already in the public domain. It contains multiple mentions of President Donald Trump, who was friends with the financier before they had a falling out. One of those mentions was in an email from a prosecutor who was flagging that Trump had traveled on Epstein's private plane multiple times in the 1990s. Asked for comment about that email, the White House pointed to a Justice Department statement saying that the release included false claims about Trump submitted to the FBI before the 2020 election. The email was sent in January of 2020, shortly before the filing of a criminal case against Epstein's co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell. It said that Trump was listed as a passenger 8 times between 1993 and 1996. Maxwell was also listed as a passenger on 4 of those flights. The prosecutor who wrote the email said they were doing so because they didn't want the information to come as a surprise. It has since been publicly reported. Trump himself has expressed frustration about the controversy over the files, saying that it was distracting from the successful work Republicans are doing.